What's going on? It's your boy John from Frag-Jitsu. Today's topic's really fun. Actually, I was reflecting and this was a really good little assignment for me. I got this idea to just think about all these fragrances that I actually smelled, like a sample or on someone, and I immediately knew it just was right. The stars aligned, it clicked, I knew it was for me. The whole personality, the smell, I just felt like it would be a really good extension of myself. This is excluding any of the blind buys out there. My whole collection that I have blind buys that I actually surprised me and I liked, that's out of this. This video is based on sampling to bottle or smelling it on someone in the wild to bottle. Basically those two categories. When you just know it's right. I love when a thing comes together like this, and I think this is my favorite part of the hobby that I could really put my finger on. Just when you smell a sample after hundreds of samples and it just clicks and it feels right, that's the best, guys. I think that's what's keeping me around. That's still happening to me, and it just happened to me recently. It actually inspired me to make this video. At the end of this video, I'm going to cover the most recent of this phenomena, King Blue, where I went from sample to full-blown King Blue. So I left the cellophane on so I can kind of look at it and evaluate the wrapping and evaluate the packaging a little bit. We're going to do that at the end of the video. So I'm just going to go through. This is almost like a list video, which I do still enjoy here and there, especially from my favorite people on YouTube. But let's get right into it. So stories tied to fragrances and memories are really what I think is my favorite part of this thing. Besides when something just clicks and you get it right and it feels good and you just know you're gonna be super happy about it. Well, some of these have stories behind them where they had a specific day or a specific event or a specific engagement that led to me getting the fragrance. And I know I've covered this before, but this is like the first thing that came to mind, right? I smelled this on my buddy. And he's my friend. He moved away to another state, but we still keep in very close contact and we try to see each other. Our dogs are friends, our wives are friends. We spend holidays together, that whole kind of thing. He's basically an extended brother of mine, right? And CK Obsession EDP for women. He came over my house in July a few years ago, around the beginning of my adventures with this thing. And it had taken me a while to actually pull the trigger and get the bottle, but I knew right away that I did like it a lot. It was actually out of stock in the one thing that I was buying from at the time at the beginning. So this thing right here is a vanillic, ambery, musky, slightly animalic, really, really deep fragrance for a simple price of 20 bucks. I really, really love this thing. It can swing with any of the best stuff out there. It really does smell super good. I mean, some of you guys aren't gonna like it, but to me, it's really a gold standard of like how good stuff can be for a cheap price. I did go ahead and get a vintage bottle, which I need to get another one to verify, but I did not like the vintage compared to this. I think that this one was superior. Its whole body and everything was just way better. So the color is perfect for the smell. And I remember smelling my buddy, and it was at the end of the day. So he sprayed a few sprayed on himself in the morning and came over my house. And I smelled him walk in, and I think we were gonna play some Magic the Gathering that night or something. So I got to spend some time around him, and I just kept getting this like hit in the face, like, wow, that's just amazing. What a great smell. And it just didn't stop smelling good the whole night, you know, deep into the night. This really, really stood out to me, and it was on someone else. Now, 2 times in this list, I smelled it on someone else and then I got it. The rest of this list, I sampled and then I immediately bought them. This is very, very atypical thing that I do. I usually just research stuff, find something I really like, blind buy it. I don't always sample. It's a mix. Nowadays, I sample way more, right? I just am more picky nowadays. But at the beginning, I just wanted to have as much variety and as much experience as possible. So I wasn't really sampling. I was just blind buying stuff and, you know, falling into the traps of the beginner that we get trapped into. I mean, I fell for it, guys. A lot of people have different trajectories, but I fell for the whole like only buy cheap stuff thing. And I'm glad now that I'm kind of discerning tastes a little bit more. I'm glad that I'm on this path. It's just my own personal thing. Nobody else has to do it. But this was one of the first times where I smelled someone else and I was like, wow, that would be amazing in my collection. I would love this thing. And yeah, it's not a typical fragrance that I think I would look for. I would never have went and grabbed a sample of this. I would never have even put my nose to this ever, I don't think, in my entire journey. And now that I'm like overlooking a lot of cheap stuff out there just because of I don't know what's going on. It's just the way I'm thinking these days. I'm just like, this one keeps reminding me of you can get a really amazing experience at like any price if the stars align the right way and everything falls together. This is like the symbolic victory of that. So CK Obsession, EDP, it's always going to be something I love. It's really, really good, and I'm taking my time on that bottle. I have been wearing the vintage one. It's different for sure, but I prefer this one personally. I think the quality is just different. Maybe that vintage bottle I bought sat around or something, but here's the second time where I smelled something on someone and this whole thing happens, and then I end up with the bottle. But this was one of my first sort of like pseudo niche fragrances. This is Tom Ford's Black Orchid, right? A lot of you people, I feel like this is not a beginner fragrance, really. It isn't. I feel like it's a very particular taste to this fragrance. Let's describe it a little bit. Well, I'll tell you my exterior. I'm going to tell you my experience first, and then I'll describe what this smells like if you haven't sampled this. A lot of people already know what this is, but let's get into it for the people who don't. So I'm working in a physical therapy clinic, and a man comes in, you know, with a suit on, and he's like really, really well dressed, like an older man, got a big white beard, bald head, and he's just like leather shoes, suit, really nice color scheme and everything. I think he was like a principal at a school or something, but anyway, this was what he was wearing, and the whole room, this is the first time this happened to me, and it was just like, whoa, I didn't ever experience anything to that level yet in this fragrance thing at that point. And I was maybe a year in or a couple months in, and I hadn't gotten to like this experience, but the way the air, and it was a big room, the way the air just changed when he came in with this thing on, it is just an unbelievable experience. The way like I was seeing these flowers in the air and I was getting like these visuals from this, it was just really mind-blowing. Really, really mind-blowing experience, and that was one of the most amazing like fragrance experiences I ever had, and I wasn't even wearing it. I had to go up to the guy and talk to him and be like, yo, undeniable, you gotta tell me what you're wearing. He didn't even know what it was. I had to look up the bottle. He's like, yeah, it was a Tom Ford of some kind. I don't remember. And I was like, all right. So I looked the bottle up and I showed him the picture, and he was like, yeah, this one. Now, I had to make sure he was talking about Black Orchid and not Velvet Orchid. So I definitely like showed him the two bottles, and then he was like, no, it's the black one. So it was really, really awesome. I've tried the gold bottle of this, and I find that they would be so redundant, but I just like this one a lot. I know there's a few flankers and stuff. I'd go for it and try them, but I have this, and this is gonna last a long time. If you guys were thinking about like just super powerful floral spicy fragrances that have some like body, like an earthy dark tone to it, some kind of like almost chocolatey dusty nature to it, really spicy mature kind of fragrance, I super duper love Black Orchid. Awesome fragrance that I'll always have for sure. Yeah, so this is an excellent pick right here, and beast mode as they get. Really, really beast mode. And this is one of the ones where I generally don't wear it in summer. I know I break the rules and I don't really care about the rules that much. I like to wear some things that are meant for winter. Like, you know that they're kind of like subtly meant for winter, but you could still rock them in summer. This is one of those ones that I don't really break that rule with. I wait till it gets at least colder out, like a little bit cool out, and then I'll break this out, and it's gonna be an all winter wear. Usually like to dress up with this one. It just comes off really well, but I've walked into like groups of people and this has sparked conversation before they actually dig it. And it's very different smelling. You know, it's not very samey as everything out there. I really, really like it, and I commend, I think this was the first Tom Ford fragrance, which I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was the first one Tom Ford ever released, which, wow, way to come out swinging with this one, because this is just an amazing buy. I haven't bought any other Tom Ford stuff except for Beau de Jour, which I'm not really married to that fragrance and I would get rid of it. So this is really the only Tom Ford that I really like that much. Maybe Ebene Fumé was okay, but I don't feel like I would get that either. There's so many things like it that are superior. But Tom Ford's Black Orchid, it's one of those times where I just smelled it on someone and I just had to be like, I'm tracking that down. I have to get my hands on it. Now the rest of these are personal, sample to bottle. Sample to bottle. You know, the whole thing comes together, the stars align, and now we find ourselves getting a sample, smelling it, wearing it, and being immediately hooked, immediately clicks, the aha moment. It's a beautiful thing. I love when it happens. It happened with this. Now, I didn't buy this sample. This is another one where someone else sent me the sample. This one is my buddy Novice Knows, Mr. Gator, on his YouTube channel. We've been going back and forth, sending each other stuff for a better part of a year now. He sent me a bunch of samples, and this was in there. You know, he labeled it himself. Acqua di Parma, Blue Mediterraneano, Mandarino di Sicilia. Sorry guys, it is a mouthful. This is almost a paragraph in another language to write. So Acqua di Parma's Mandarino di Sicilia. Well, I like the bottle a lot. I like the subtle green color of the juice. I just really dig it. The sprayer's pretty good. It's got this like metal kind of anodized blue metal thing going on. You know, plastic cap. It's really not about the bottle though. When I sprayed this fragrance, it stood out amongst all the other fragrances he sent me, all the other samples that he sent me. And this one I had to get right away. I hunted it down and I found this really pleasant, cheap price on these. And I couldn't believe it. This has this natural citrus, like really present, natural, niche citrus smell. Super amazing. I'm not really crazy on citruses either. And it has this minty tone to it. It's not outright like breath mint, but it has this minty, handsome, cleaned. I wore this. It has this minty, handsome, cleaned feeling to it. It's got a lot of burst and brightness, but it's not obnoxious at all. There's nothing synthetic or fake smelling. It smells like a natural combination of things. But really where I get this is use cases. I ended up wearing this to like job interviews that were really important, like government job stuff. That's important stuff. I wore this to all kinds of things like that. I wear this like no brainer, and it sets you apart while still being handsome, and you smell clean. You smell like well groomed. It's that citrus freshness with no soapy vibes at all. But it has this minty presentation that makes you feel like you're just radiating handsome, clean energy. Even though I have a beard and stuff, I still smell like and present like a professional with this smell just tied into the suit and stuff. This was just really, really a hit. It gave me like a lot of confidence too. Not that I already didn't have it from just experience doing these things, but this just definitely enhances that for me. This is a great fragrance. Something I would normally wear like green Irish tweed for, which now I feel like is kind of flat for me. It's a no-brainer and it's easy, but it kind of blends in really well. Whereas this just makes you feel like a little bit more fresh. This has actually taken over that serious spot for me. That you know, first day on the job, meeting your bosses, you know, job interviews, important events. Like I feel like this is just a no-brainer, and it's not to be taken as a joke, but it's not to be taken out of context. It just smells really, really professional and good and office safe and natural and clean and handsome. Really, really super duper stuff right here. Like I have to keep digging into this house. There's definitely going to be some more offerings from them. They have this really, really great citrus natural feel to them. Like a lot of care and thought was put into this, and I just really want to dig into them more. But this is the first of the kind of the house that I got. This is the first of the house Acqua di Parma's Blue Mediterraneano series, and that would be Mandarino di Sicilia, which I'm pretty sure my heritage goes back to like Sicily, so that's kind of cool, I guess, in a novel way. Anyway, so this is another time. This is the first Mancera fragrance that I ever got my hands on. This was the first Mancera sample that I got my hands on. It was one of the first niche, I guess, houses. A lot of people see them as entry-level niche or heavy-handed niche or some kind of like synthetic thing. Well, this one rocks. I love it. It's a great time, and all my friends who got into this too, they smelled this and they got this. I remember like there was a phase where like this and Hawass, like really early on, were like the two of my most like banger, synthetic, crazy bombs. And it was just super fun to have them. And a lot of people would like come over, my friends and stuff, and they would stop on this one and they would stop on Hawass. And I remember they would get caught up with those two. Not like fragrance collectors or anything, just like average people. So yeah, Mancera's Intense Drop Boisé. Now this is pretty strong stuff. This actually was one of my first fragrances that I ended up wearing for a specific purpose, and that would be anytime I took a road trip or any kind of vacation. This was my like day of travel scent. I don't know why. It's just one of those like serious, confident, locked in kind of fragrances. It gives me a lot of like mental edge, mental sharpness. Yeah, this thing just really enhances that kind of part of me, and I really like it a lot. And I did not care about the Cedrat Boisé Flanker, the original, not really. This one has like this added leathery thing. I don't know what the hell it is. It's got this really masculine friggin' twist to it that's just like right in your face. It's very punchy, very citrusy, but in like a mouth-watering almost way. And it has this just like synthetic blast to it. I love it. I really, really enjoy it. And I like fragrances like this a lot. I don't know what it categorized as. Maybe it's a fougere. I don't even know. I mean, some would say it's Aventus-like, but I feel like it's just way more powerful and way more like sure what it's doing than Aventus is. Like, I don't care about Aventus that much anymore. There's so many Aventus likes, and I feel like this might be Mancera's like attempt at that. They are pretty uncanny when you smell them like downstream to each other. Definitely different. Definitely this is like way cheaper too. You could get this for a great price. And this was one of those early on kind of wake up calls for me where I was like early in my journey and the sample was so good I couldn't believe it. And then I was like, wow, fragrances can do this. And then I end up with Intense Cedroit Boisé. So I really, really like that one. Still to this day, I still rock it, even though that was early on. And this one is from a few months ago, like 7 months ago, 8 months ago. We sampled this together, me and my wife. This is Tilia from Marc-Antoine Barrios. Very, very good fragrance. This is just like a knockout. One of the most beautiful female-ish smelling fragrances I've ever smelled. I don't even know how to describe it, guys. It reminds me of how Ganymede is. If you guys have smelled Ganymede, it reminds me of like a pretty version of that. Like it has that same strange, not plastic smell, but anyone who's encountered Ganymede and really thought about what it smells like, I feel like that same spirit of that is in this. Tilia is really, really beautiful. I remember multiple people being at our wedding day. My wife wore this and everyone was just like begging to know what it was that she was wearing. And I wear this too sometimes. I mean, we don't even have a real crazy dent because it's very strong. We only need like 3 sprays of this and you're really going to be giving off this beautiful cloud. Something about this is just so unique. It stands out from all the women's fragrances that I've ever smelled. It really does. And I feel like it's unisex if you're confident enough to pull it off, but it really, really shines on my wife. Everybody that smelled it really wants to get their hands on it. I love the bottle. I like the cap. I like the gold. I like the color of the juice. Everything about this just really, it's just a quality deal here. I like how it sprays. Let's give you a little spray. I don't mind spraying. You know, it's a nice sprayer, nothing too crazy, nothing too bad. Yeah, and it's just so intoxicatingly pretty and beautiful without being obnoxious. And it's very unique and it has this spirit to it that I just really, really dig. I get down with this one. It's one of the most beautiful sweet smells you'll ever smell. It's not obnoxious like a lot of stuff that's out there. It's not even like overly anything in any way. I really don't know how to describe this fragrance. It's just a knockout fragrance. It's really, really one of those ones that I can't form the words for. Unbelievable. Speechless about this fragrance. And it's like 7-8 months and we're still both kind of perplexed by how good this is compared to like every single female fragrance out there. It could be a little thick, I guess, in the air. Some of you guys with the florals, you like a light floral. I feel like this has such this light component, but it does have like this heart that is very much more dense than you might be used to. I don't know. This is just a knockout fragrance. And it makes me kind of stupid when I smell it. I literally can't even form words about it. I really, really love this Tilia stuff. And I like it for me too. I wear it from time to time. I really do dig it. It's more of my wife's fragrance though, and this was a fragrance that I sampled, she sampled, and we got it right away. We just had to get it. It was done. Like that, smell it and then fire away. That's what I'm looking for with this. I love when that comes together, and it's just a satisfactory experience overall. Here's one of the more recent ones. Actually, these 3 are super recent, so it's going to say a lot about, you know, what I'm into right now and where I'm at. So I've had Nasamato stuff for a while, but I never delved into the Ordo Parisi stuff. I don't know what it was, just money maybe slowing me down. You got to like budget yourself and prioritize what you're going to sample. Well, I sampled Megamare, and a lot of you probably knew this was coming if you follow the channel, but Megamare is just, it's Ordo Parisi. It's, you know, Alessandro Gualtieri stuff. If you're not familiar with that, definitely check him out. I mean, I feel like there's something for everyone in there. I really do enjoy all of these. I have 2 from the Ordo Parisi line, and I plan on having 5 of them. I like 5 of them solidly. I want to get Toroni, I want to get Veride, and I want to get Risveglium. I also want to get Bergamasque. So that's 6 of them, right? I want to have that. I have 5 Nasamatos or 6 Nasamatos, if you get rid of Blamage, which I don't like at all. But anyway, Megamare, smelled the sample, wore the sample, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? It's something totally different. I feel like the only other time I got this like totally different thing was from Perfumum Roma, Acqua di Sale. They behave differently, guys. Something about these, they're not the same either. They're just like, they're doing their own thing. Maybe it's the chemicals they use, maybe it's the way they perfumed it, but this thing does its own thing. It has this strange, otherworldly behavior to it. And what I think of this as is the spirit of this like ocean. Like you just capture the essence of the ocean, the energy of the sea, of the entire sea. Just like if you represented it in a spirit, bottled the spirit, and made this, you got it. You nailed it. You know, everything down to the mother of pearl cap. You put mother of pearl on top, the kind of rusted, like the rusted steel here. That's not really rusted, but like it looks like oxidized metal, like near the ocean. Salt water will oxidize metal, and then you get the perfect colors. Like it's almost like the quintessential color of like an ocean spirit would be, or like, you know, when you think of the sea, you think of this blue sea. It's like that. It's got that same vibe to it. Perfectly done. And I think one of the strongest things that Gaultier has, besides his actual scent profiles, is his color schemes rock. Every single one of his fragrances is flawlessly executed in what color it is. Like the juice, the color of the bottle, the little accents, everything is just so professionally, really like deliberately done. And it helps you frame and get a different experience. When you hold this bottle, it feels really, really cool. You got an infinity sign on the bottom. It just feels like some otherworldly high-end thing that you just like would never find. You know, human creativity, I really just commend the creativity of the human species. This stuff is crazy that people could even come up with stuff like this. The wear on this is really, really hard to describe because it's just so committed. You have to really commit to this. You can spray like one spray and it will be pretty decent in the background. I mean, I wore this all summer. I haven't experienced this in the cold yet, but as the summer went, this was a banger for me in the summer. You know, even using this much of the bottle so far from like there to there, that's a lot of stuff. Like you spray this twice and you could be really, really pushing it if you sprayed wrong. Now I found ways to spray this depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I go up to 5. You know, 5 to 7 is like really a little bit dangerous now. You're starting to get crazy. This makes it to the dryer after I wash my clothes. It is one of the most beast mode things out there, but it could kind of like disappear and reappear suddenly very strong. I really, really love how this thing behaves. It's super like ethereal. It's super like, it does its own thing and it has its own personality. And I love how it's just really hard to put your finger on. It has this beautiful salty, almost tangy, salty thing going on. And it's just this spirit of the ocean bottled up. I mean, I'll have to do a real review on this one day, but again, this is one of those ones that for me, I just have a hard time forming words about it, and I just love it so much that I love to share it. So Megamare is on there. I sampled that and immediately was like scratching my head like, what the hell did I just experience? Oh, and I thought it was over. I thought the whole experience was over. And then it starts up again and I start smelling it again. And I'm like, wow, this never went away. And then you take off the shirt and like, if you smell the shirt, like even a few days later, it's just like still there. It's very, very prominent. So let's talk about one of the most recent times this happened. I've been doing these sample set reviews, kind of just tearing through sample sets and getting like my feedback. And I stumbled upon the Frederick Mal samples and there was probably 3 in there that I felt this way about, but this one was the most. Probably because it reminds me of CK Obsession, but done in a slightly different execution. I mean, this is just a couple more bucks than the CK Obsession. But I really like how this bottle feels. If you guys haven't tried the Frederick Mal stuff or you don't have a bottle, I mean, everything about it feels really good. I like the snap on the cap. I like the sticker. It's really, really nice. And my favorite thing about them is that they put the damn perfumer on the label. Now, it just, to me, just helps the consumer a little bit because now you could go look up this perfumer if you really love it and start getting, you know, some experience with their repertoire, like all the fragrances they've had. I guess it could hurt them in the long run because you're buying other companies' fragrances. Basically, if you just follow the perfumers who work for all these different companies, maybe that's why they don't all do it. I don't know. It's just speculation. But Maurice Roussel is written on this one. I have to go and check out more of his creations because I really love Musk Ravageur. If you saw that video, I immediately said I was going to get this fragrance. Like on the video, love at first sight, bam, stars aligned, sparkles in my eyes, you know, rainbows and butterflies. I went nuts for this. You know, it's just really, really great. I bought it immediately. I couldn't find it anywhere for like a discount, so I found it for pretty much a little bit less than its retail price, and I grabbed that sucker. Now, I smelled this years ago. I think it was a different batch because I didn't like that one, but I feel like now I would like that batch. It was more animalic. This is not really too animalic, but it's got a little bit of that going on. What this really the main focus of Musk Ravageur for me is this like ambery, musky, vanillic, spicy thing, right? It's got this really little hint, like you hallucinate almost, a little bit of this handsome, like there's this tiny drop of a barbershop fragrance like hidden in this, but it's mostly like this musky, ambery, vanillic thing. It's sweet, it's warm, it's cozy, and it's really easy to rock. But it's not obnoxious like a lot of the cinnamony, vanilla, apple spice stuff. Like I can't really stand that stuff anymore personally. I just don't like it. Stuff like Angel Share, it smells amazing, but I personally am just so sick of it, right? That vanillic thing, this is done really well. It just doesn't overcommit to any of those tropes, really. It kind of does its own thing. And I think people respect this as a modern classic. So that's Musk Ravageur. And I definitely love this one. You know, I already put a little dent in it from when I got it. I've only had it for like 3 weeks, guys. So I wore this to a couple of really big days too. And it's one of those dumb reaches for me. Super comfortable. We got to the most recent sample to bottle purchase, which is the Amouage sample set that I just did about a week ago. And I said right there that I really liked King Blue, and I liked it this much, guys. I usually don't just go and buy fragrances like this. This is very not typical. Well, there's the sample of it, right? Basically empty sample here. There's like 2 drops in there. And I wore King Blue 3 times since I bought it. And it's just really good. I didn't open this box yet, but yeah, so this reminds me of the Reflection Man box a little bit. It has that same thing, but this has like a blue-white gradient to it. It feels really high quality, but this cellophane is a little loose here. Like this came like this with this loose cellophane. And I don't know, something about it just doesn't seem right to me. So I'm hoping that when I open this up and I spray it, it's the actual thing and not some kind of fake that I got gypped for. I got this on Vemba Fragrance. So I also noticed that there's like a little barcode here, and someone actually scratched that barcode. So there's 2 things I noticed right off the bat. I'm a little bit apprehensive to open this, but I wanted to do it on camera just to capture it. So, you know, the cellophane has this looseness right here. It's like almost like it's been pulled at. But I don't know, let's check it out. So I'm gonna start ripping into this and tear into it. And you know, it's got a little dent on the corner here, like it's dented up here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's definitely dented. The box though, the color on this, King Blue, looks really good. I really like it. It feels fine, you know, nothing too crazy. It looks like a nice color gradient and a really nice art. And then when you hold it here, it's got like this texture to it, very like royal feel to it, and I really dig that about these. They have this royalty to them. So just really nicely done here. And let's see, I'm gonna crack it open. So the box comes off the front and we're looking at the bottle. I'm gonna just take a peek here, pull it out, and they tend to sit just right in there like that. Put it back in, let you guys see what I just looked at. That is King Blue sitting in the box. Right, feels good. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. All right, so it fits in there really nicely. The bottle is very pretty. It actually has this feel to it that I did not realize was gonna be a feature, but it has this feel to it that's the texture is very satisfying. It's sticky almost, like a sticky, it's not like cheap paint. It has like this feel to it, like it's sticky. Well, this is Opus XV King Blue. Sorry, I don't know what XV is. Is it 15? I don't know. Yeah, call me out in the comments for being an idiot. But yeah, it's got the jewel on top, gold accents, and let's take the cap off. Cap is magnetic, gold underneath. Now, the way this thing smells is another one that's hard for me to describe, but I really love it. This one absolutely kicks ass. I love it. So far off the top, it smells like it, so this must not be a fake. Let's see. We got batch code and stuff on there. I don't know if that's, you guys want to look into that. Let me know if I got a good batch. I'm going to spray this right on. Yeah, this is King Blue, guys. Good luck cloning this. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, God, I love it. Now, the first time I smelled King Blue, I didn't like it, and it was in person. And then I realized that I had smelled too many fragrances that day. I was in a store just going through, like, I went through all the Guerlains, all the Diptyques, all the Amouages. I remember not even coming out with any valuable information because I just smelled too many in one day. And when I got to this one, all I smelled was that poopy smell. That's all I got from this, was like just a one note of poopiness. And I was like kind of upset, and I went and washed my hands and I got it off of me as fast as possible. Well, fast forward to now, and I actually have this fragrance. I actually got complimented on this thing a lot. I don't know if there's leather in this, but it's got this smoky, really awesome depth, like this crazy, crazy depth. And then it has these sweet components that are like really bright without being obnoxious. There's no point where this gets obnoxious in any way. Super easy to wear, and it actually has this like upscale royalty smell while still being really fun. I love it. It's really, really me. Like, I'm super happy to have discovered this. A lot of people don't like this one. They say crazy stuff about it, and I get it. I like said the same thing at some point. I really thought it just smelled like shit. Like, it literally smelled like poop that day. But I don't get that at all now. And when you commit to full wear of it, like, I almost never even think of that. There's so many other things to smell in this. It definitely has some oud in it. Definitely has that for sure. I don't know what type of oud that is, but it's there for sure. Like, you get that wood smell, that woody, smoky, animalic thing for sure. But it's not gross, guys. It's nothing gross. It's actually quite a lot of fun. You can wear this like really dressed up, or you can just like rock this casually with a t-shirt. I have a great time with it. It's really me. I really love it, and I'm super happy to have the real thing right here in my hand. This is my second Amouage bottle, but it really feels like my first. I feel like Reflection Man, for me, it's kind of like, compared to this, Reflection Man, it feels like it's not Amouage for me personally. I feel like this is like the stuff that I'm looking for now from them, and I'm going to go deeper, and I'm going to keep chasing down, you know, stuff like this that makes me just go from sample to bottle. I love when things come together, and this just feels very me. I got compliments on this already too, which is crazy because people say it smells bad, right? When they sample this, or maybe it's not for beginners or something. This is definitely not a beginner fragrance, right? So I'm not expecting other people to go sample the bottle on this. But out of all those Amouage samples, this one really was like, hey, John, this is for you. This is the one that you're gonna, I knew it right away. Like, within the first wear, within the first smell of it, I was like, damn. It just took my attention, and it just has all these dynamics to it that will never feel, I feel like this will never get boring to me. It's just edgy, but fun, and it's amazing. Like, literally love it. So, Amouage King Blue, friggin' rocks. I love it. Super happy to have it. And this textured little thing right here is kind of nice too. I just noticed that it's got like a really three-dimensional texture to it. Super nice fragrance right here. I really, really enjoy it. Really like it a lot. It would be cool if it said the name like King Blue or something on the side, like down the side. But yeah, other than that, I'm also not too sure about why they named it that. I didn't read any of the lore. I just really like how it smells. That's literally it. I don't even know anything about this fragrance. It feels like an Amouage fragrance from all the samples that I had. A few of them have a similar DNA to them or a similar note or two. But this is the one that really, really grabbed my attention. I really like Silver Oud as well. I really do like that one as well. But this is the one that was like, John, you know what's up. Get this friggin' fragrance already. And you guys, I've sampled a ton of fragrances in the last 2 months. Like, you've seen all the videos. I went through 31 Pine Road fragrances. I mean, if you go back just a few months, you'll see me tearing through like maybe 100 samples or more on here. And I document the whole thing. But out of all these, one of them that showed up is this one. So, guys, hopefully that was a fun video. It was a little project for me. And in the process of doing this and looking for all these fragrances, I started reflecting more and realizing how many other fragrances that I just were successful blind buys, and that's a whole different topic. I think I'm gonna do that too, so stick around. Maybe I'll pop around with one of those soon enough. Anyway, you guys definitely hit me up in the comments and let me know if this same thing happens to you, where you smell something and you just know. When you just know, it's the best feeling ever, and when you get that thing, it just feels right. And I love when something just comes together right, nothing feels off, and it's all for you. It's a great, great way to express yourself and have some fun with this thing. Anyway, peace. Hope you had as much fun as I did.